Come on, you guys, let's go. Now, I have to admit, I wasn't expecting to be reacting like this tonight because I thought we were either going to draw this game or lose to Bournemouth because Bournemouth were the better team tonight. They looked hungrier than us for large parts of this game. They had more shots on goal against us, for God's sake. And this game was another reminder that we are still a very long way away from showing anything that we hope to be currently under Enzo Maresca. But everything changed for us once those subs came on in the second half. And I have to say, the biggest difference maker tonight that gave us energy, that gave us spark, but most importantly, gave us some ability. Probably for the first time we've seen in God knows how long down that left side, was that man, Jadon Sancho. Now, am I allowed to say that this was one of the longest performances I've seen down that left side? Maybe not. Maybe not. That's a bit outrageous. I'll admit that. But honestly, the confidence I felt from Sancho with every touch, every movement, bro, like the passing, it was a passing masterclass from Jadon Sancho. How many times was he running towards goal and then disguising his passes to find teammates with his outside the boot passes? He did that to Nico Jackson. Nico could have done better maybe to find the target from that area. He produced that same moment for nkunku. And when you have a world-class attacking player, and I have to stress this, my friends, please, just because for some reason nkunku is in the lowest pecking order in terms of attacking players, let's not ever dare forget that this guy is our best finisher at the club. He has been the difference maker for years. Yes, he had a terrible injury last season. We can't be holding that against the eternal class nkunku has. And is it any surprise that he would take advantage of a Sancho pass like that inside the box? Little bit of fortune with how the ball bounced back, but they make no mistake with that composure to round the goalkeeper. You saw Christo's reaction afterwards. He was talking his ish in the camera to the fan base. He won't be happy that he isn't starting these games at all. And he'll be thinking to himself, Maresca, am I not the guy that's your leading scorer right now and tends to score goals when I'm playing for you? Now there's going to be big conversations around whether nkunku starts up front next week against West Ham. And currently, you're kind of thinking to yourself, irrespective of anything Nico's shown, that maybe nkunku and that class could be helpful for us inside the box right now. But I have to continue with Jadon Sancho because from the first moment this guy came on, the touch was immaculate. And that was one thing that kind of just epitomized his entire game tonight. The touch, the finesse, the skill. And deep it for a second here, this guy, he's coming back to his hometown in London. He's a London boy at heart. He's come back. But most importantly, he's come back to play for the club that he's supported ever since he was a kid. Yeah? How are you not going to play with energy? How are you not going to feel that excitement when you're coming on for your club, away from home, making your debut? He would have been gassed when he heard the away fans singing and jarring his name. These are the moments these guys work for when they're kids, when they sacrifice everything to make it at this level, yeah. And I'm sure this is a moment Sancho won't forget. And to be honest, this is a moment that a lot of the fan base won't forget, because Sancho, when he came on to be like, yo, listen, I'm here to try and take this left wing spot. And currently, if he maintains this, because he has to start the game against West Ham, yeah, Neto came off for a reason instantly. I don't think Maresca was impressed with what he did. But Sancho offered us so much when he came on down that left side with the passes to find the underlapping runs of Cucurella, outside the foot passes to find man inside the box, the combo plays between himself, Felix, and the skills and the touches and the back heels. This is classic Borussia Dortmund Jadon Sancho at its finest. And if this is a glimpse and taster of what to expect from this guy, boy, it's going to be a very exciting season. So hopefully, touch wood, fingers crossed, watch the complete rejuvenation of Jadon Sancho. I don't know why I keep saying it, but it just sounds good because that's how good his performance was today. So that was some of the best stuff to talk about in this game. But let's not fool ourselves into thinking that this wasn't necessarily the perfect game. And I think that was for a few reasons. Number one, Disasi playing right back. My lord. I was saying it throughout my stream, even before the damn game started. if I'm forced to have to play Disasi for whatever reason, surely I'm going to use this brother in the middle of my defense because he is a books defender at heart. He's like the black Harry Maguire. That's the type of defender he is. And I have Wesley Fofana continuing to play as a wide centre-back on the right side, as he's shown against Crystal Palace to great effect. Why the hell did it take him until the 65th minute to realise maybe Disasi has to come off because maybe we're getting torn to shreds down that left side because Disasi doesn't have that confidence to close men down. And why would he? He's got the turning circle radius of a brick house, man, for God's sake. So I felt like he was put under pressure unfairly a lot. There was a moment in that first half where Tavernier took advantage and nearly punished us because Disasi and Fofana had a moment of confusion. And I just thought, I don't know why Maresca needed that much time to realise this ain't working. Yeah, I said Tavernier. I mean, this guy had a ridiculous shot from the left side again near the first half. And a lot of the great things Bournemouth did came from that left side. So I was kind of like, Maresca, when are you going to wake up and realise, maybe I'm misprofiling Disasi by playing his ass out wide? From the first 10-15 minutes of the first half, he should have just swapped these men around and that would have made a big difference. I promise you anything, because when Tosin came on, outside of a silly pass he attempted, this guy brought some crisp, line-breaking passes. Once that balance was there with Tosin, Levi to the left side and Fofana to the right side, I just felt like we were able to cope more against Bournemouth. But, I have to say as well, Bournemouth kind of tired out for the final 20 minutes, which makes sense because they kind of out-intensity'd us quite a lot in this game today. And I think that was the second thing I was a bit disappointed by. We still look a bit lightweight when it comes to doing anything second ball, anything defensive with our actions. We get muscled off a bit too much. That first half in particular, my God, it was constant turnovers in our half. And Bournemouth, their tactical plan was working. They really limited how much we could find Palmer down that right-hand side, who does great to connect us, right, from defensive attack. And Palmer can't do it all by himself. There was like 3 moments where just as pure genius and intelligent and quick thinking, little like dummies and drop of the shoulders and like a little like chipped play that he did where he tried to evade the press and he got brought down by, I think, was it Cook or Christie? Who knows? Because he got brought down quite a lot in this game today. Outside of anything that Palmer could do to help us play out from the back, I felt like we were playing in Bournemouth's hands. Bournemouth won the tactical battle. I get this whole thing about playing out from the back. You want to attract the opposition to come onto you, but it's the Premier League, right? These teams aren't dumb. So what these teams were doing, what Bournemouth did especially tonight, was they made sure our defenders couldn't play passes into midfield. They had an aggressive mid-block structure and they weren't afraid to go man-to-man to press us and engage us in those central areas. And they won a lot of tackles. They made a lot of chances, more chances than us. And I just think that it was a bit worrying that it took so long to see a reaction. And I just felt like a bit of fortune came in terms of how we found the winner tonight, because I think you play this game 10 times. I think you'd be surprised by how many times Bournemouth come away with a positive result. So that's something that definitely has to be worked on. I think one of the reasons why things were a bit peak, this is the controversial part I have to say. I have to keep things real. I have to discuss Renato Vega. Now, I have to say this. It's his first debut in the Premier League, his first time playing in midfield, first full 90. Now, to make the step up from the Swiss League to the Prem, with his running and intensity and the pace and the energy he needs to have, I think he will need to have some moments to learn and to adjust and get used to this tempo. As the game ended, you could see he was feeling his, stitches. He was cramping up a little bit. The lactic acid was definitely there. Credit to him for lasting the full 90 and trying his best. A few moments he showed like good quality, especially as the game opened up near the ends. But I think defensively at times was a bit poor. He was also prone to being pressured to lose the ball a lot at times as well. And also I just felt like he looked a bit lost a little bit sometimes. But as I said, as the game ended, he did show good promising signs. And if you guys actually were paying attention, he finally made the underlapping run, which took out a Bournemouth fullback, which allowed Sancho to run towards goal, to play that pass to nkunku, and the rest was history. So I'm not here to say that everything he did was bad. Absolutely not. He had certain moments, but I think that's what I've seen from Vega so far. A lot of rawness, A lot of rawness in this game, very raw. I think that rawness can be harnessed as time goes on, 100%. But will that happen in a week or two? Absolutely not. This is a project I'm down to get by for the next 2 years. But I think to myself equally, if we had your Santoses or Hugo Chukwu, we had other players like this that, Maresca was talking about not having, more like eights, mentioning that Enzo is the only one he sees who can play as like an attacking mid and defend as a defensive mid. But I just thought we had a lot of these men in the squad during pre-season. Why did he not push to keep one of them? I just felt like would not either one of Santos or Hugo be doing a better job in that role? Probably. But again, fortunately for Vega, let's see how he progresses as the season goes on. It was a game of ups and downs, in my opinion. But I think one thing that just was not an up and down at all, and I have to end things with a final positive. For these two men in particular, yeah, I'm looking at Robert Sanchez, I'm looking at Levi Cole. I thought Robert Sanchez probably, which is a mad thing, after the introduction Sancho had in that second half, you have to play an amazing game to win man of the match, in my opinion. But I have to give it to Sanchez because his penalty against Evan Nilsson, superb penalty save. He kept us in the game. That was the decisive moment. I think if we are chasing this game 1-0 down to Bournemouth, it's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking great for us. But every time Bournemouth had a shot outside the box, Sanchez was there. Every time a cross was played in the box, Sanchez rose to the occasion and brought some composure with his handling in the box, right? Every time you felt Bournemouth were about to capitalise with one of the great moments it made against us in this game, Sanchez was there getting low and hard with his great shot saves. He was so active today and he was so crucial to our win. And I feel, in my opinion, he deserves a lot of praise today. And yeah, in my opinion, he might be man of the match. And I think for the other player, Levi Cole, I felt like some of the online criticism was a bit mad because people forget that, last season was like the educational season, doing some shifts at left back in the middle and injuries as well. But I felt like some people were fooling themselves into thinking that he was overrated, and that was pissing me off, I have to be honest. Today he showed why this guy could be the future leader, captain, and our best defender at the club because he was a colossus. Countless blocks, countless headers won, countless crucial decisive actions, and on top of that, the amount of quality he showed when it came to carrying the ball out from deep and kick-starting moves for us. He played that wide centre-back role really well. And the fact that he can play left-back, wide centre-back, and in the middle, I thought was a great performance. And some of the blocks from him near the end in particular saved our arse on countless occasions. So the fact that I'm even praising him for his defensive actions says a lot about the promise that Levi Cole is starting to show this season, my friends. So that is about everything I have to say to conclude this game today. But I can't end things without mentioning the point that somehow, in a game which is one of the most normalist Prem games we've ever seen, 14, 15 yellow cards were dished out. I think it's absolutely ridiculous what I saw. Some of the most pathetic, weakest yellow cards seen in a long time, and it was becoming the Anthony Taylor show. Maresca got booked somehow. Players got booked for stupid things. And, this was like a very fair contest play between two clubs who wanted to win the game today. And I just didn't understand why the ref saw a carve frenzy. He felt the need to dish out yellows after yellows. Thank God there was nothing serious that costed us. Thank God. But that really puzzled and baffled me today. And let's see what happens there. But my friends, it's nice to win ugly and still leave it with 3 points. I think this will do wonders in terms of confidence. Every point you pick up matters as the season goes on. So let's hope now that the team now brings some confidence now. Let's hope we see Sancho and Nkunku start versus West Ham. And let's hope that we continue to improve and get better under Enzo Maresca. So my friends, thank you for watching. Share your thoughts, opinions, hit that like button, and have a good night. See you all soon. Cool.